Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday evening, November 18th, 2025. This weird day happens to be my birthday. This is not something that I would normally advertise, but as things turned out today, most of the normal panelists let me know they couldn't make it tonight, and we ended up being kind of stuck for a topic. So we're doing something a little experimental tonight.
I want to hear it.
Not right now.
Yes, now, Dusty Bun.
Wait. Okay. Make a wish. Blow out your candles.
Yes! All right! Woo! I did it!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Lorn! Kevin, get back up here. This is where you belong. This is your show. Happy birthday, Lorn! Congratulations, man!
Yeah, survived another year. I don't think there's anything much more experimental than a dinosaur in an astronaut suit. So,
Lorn, I imagined what people, what little kids, because, you start off with the clip, little kid blowing out the candles, and I thought, what do little kids think happens, when you go into a club? What would they imagine is going on in there? Why would adults line up, those 21 and older? Why would they line up to go into a club in the mind of a child? And I thought, of course, there clearly must be a T-Rex in a spacesuit back there. I mean, I'd love for the Raptors to be in Raptors, literally, like in jet pilots, T-Rex and Velociraptors. But it was hard to do that. So T-Rex in an astronaut suit. That's how I imagine. All kids think it's happening in the hottest places.
did you see the story that Dino Riders is making a comeback?
It's about time. Gargoyles next, maybe too. Let's do it.
So,
by the way, Lorn, we have not celebrated enough yet, and you have not just survived, sir. You are so close to thriving in ways that people out there just don't even know yet. Can we celebrate just one more? Can we do just one more? Let's do it, folks.
I ain't gonna stop it.
Lorn, here we go.
Perfect.
And on behalf of Lorn and behalf of the channel, and folks, we had a great 300th episode today on the Pro Show, and you all made the dream come true. The dream to stream, you all make it happen. So we're going to give some memberships out there. In honor of Lorn, this is for those of you who are joining us who are not yet green. We got to switch off gray, which is the opposite of how birthdays tend to go. But folks, enjoy those. That is in memoriam for the year that was for Lorn, and in celebration of the year that is to become. Lorn, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I did want to let the audience know I wouldn't normally advertise my birthday like this. I like to keep it low key. Whole reason that we're doing this is because we literally didn't have a topic tonight. So
I'm reading the show notes from what you've sent me. Dear Pro, play the birthday thing 17 times. It's important to me. I need this.
Make a wish. Blow out your candles. Yes!
All right! Woo! I did it!
Happy birthday!
Kevin, did we debut that for you? Were you the first one to get that clip played?
I was, yeah. We've got to get all the November babies together in one episode.
November babies, we're making their birthday dreams come true. There's too many syllables for there. Sorry, Nanny, screwed it up. Lorn, folks out there are sitting in super chats for you, sir, and we have stories to tell tonight. I think the topic is vintage heroes. Is that where we're going to go with this? Is that what you want to do?
we can. I'm open to keeping it open. The idea tonight kind of was we've got news stories that we'll cover just like normal, but I figured it might be a good opportunity to do a Q&A with the chat if they wanted to ask us some questions and we can respond to them, that kind of thing. It's just going to be more of a conversational night than normal, I think.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Who is the best Silver Fox hero in cinematic history? Let's see. We're going to give them two to choose from. Rocky in the last Rocky film, Rocky Balboa, okay? where he gives the speech? Or is it Indy's dad? What is Indy's dad's name? Henry Ford. Is he a junior? He's not a junior. Junior is junior.
Henry Jones.
Henry
Ford's a totally different guy.
Listen, same era. Same era, Lorn. Come on, it's late at night. I've hopped in here with coffee, okay? We're going to survive this. But I may make some snafus and have people say, is it really coffee in that cup anymore? Let's see. I won't be as bad as culture, though. Henry Jones in the Last Crusade. Okay. All right, folks. You decide. That's a tough one right off the get-go. Who is the better Silver Fox hero, Rocky and Rocky Balboa or Henry Jones in The Last Crusade? What do you say? Lorn, what do you say? What's your vote on this?
Oh, well, I mean, I have to go with Henry Jones. You know, it's like I love Rocky and Rocky Balboa, but for me, you've got to go with Henry. And
what's the line he says when he shoots the plane himself?
Sorry, son. They got us.
Sorry, son. They got us. All right, Kevin, what do you say? Who's the best Silver Fox cinematic hero? Is it Henry Jones or is it Rocky Balboa?
Oh, this is hard. Come on. Oh. I got to go with Rocky.
Going with the Rock. Not that Rock. Different Rock. All right. Well, folks, at 77%, Henry Jones is currently in the lead. Lorn, I hand it back to you in the lead. Let's read the super chats. That's where it's at. Let's go.
Yep. First up, we have Nolan Thunder for $1.99, wishing happy birthday. Thank you, sir. I'm glad that you're out there. Happy to see you tonight.
Thunder.
We have Pro himself gifting the 5 WDW Pro memberships. Be sure to check to see whether you got one, and thank your tipper if you did. And Chef Eddie for 5. You're not old, Lorn. Harrison Ford is 83 and still out there crashing airplanes. Yeah, I understand that he says that he just likes to fly planes. So I'm not.
He crashed them too. Apparently, he likes to. He's like Launchpad, right? He lands them more vigorously than others.
From time to time. But he's also been involved in a lot of high-profile rescue cases, too. So I guess, it sort of evens out over time, but given a long enough timeline. So
I'm not sure exactly. He gets in the plane with Harrison and says, sir, are we going to be able to land this? And he says, it's not that kind of flight, son.
Well, I'd go back to his original line, fly, yes. Land, no.
No.
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane. Man, that guy, he's part grizzly bear, There's a little grizzly living inside his larynx.
There is one comic, and I cannot think of his name, and I've tried to find the clip again. I can't find it again, but he does a great Harrison Ford impression, but he does it from every era of his movies, and so he starts off like his original voice, and gets lower and grumpier as he gets older, and he's
grumpier.
And he's like arguing with different versions of himself. It's a really great skit. I just haven't been able to find it again.
By these years, it's gotten to the point where when he even if he whispers, he rumbles the seats in the theater.
Yeah. And I think he just got an Emmy, wasn't it?
No, that was Tom Cruise. Don't you take Tom Cruise's Emmy? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yes, he did.
For Shrinking, if I remember right, which I haven't seen yet, but from what I understand, it sounds like it's him having the best time of his life in like 20 years.
You light up my life was the number one the day Lorn was born.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think it must be. Well, it comes from Cherokee Bear, who is now Sedan DeVille Bear. So, I mean, do you think such a person would lie to you? No, never. Now, folks, here's what I want you to do. We got 112 of you joining us across YouTube. Okay, just getting started. On Lorn's birthday, the day he came into this world, naked and ready to party. All right, little gooey, but ready to party. Lorn, we got 180 if we include the X peeps out there. Highest IQ community on the web. Folks, here's what I want you to do. Go out into your neighborhood. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Go and be the carriers of the message for us. Go and evangelize your neighborhoods. Ring the doorbells and tell them the good that is happening right now on YouTube. This is where they should be. And if you get arrested, just know that we will be there on your device when you get out, telling you that it was definitely and totally worth it for us.
So you're totally against giving financial advice, but you have no problem whatsoever breaking and entering to neighbors' domiciles.
I didn't say to go in the domicile. Just go up to the threshold of the domicile and do not pass go. Don't do that. Don't sit on their couch. Don't make it that awkward. Okay, you're not selling a vacuum cleaner. You're telling them about Lorn and Paulo.
Don't be the Uber Eats delivery girl. Just stay at the door. Just stay at the door.
Used to be the milkman you had to worry about.
Yeah. All right, folks. We do have a couple of stories to get to. Let me see if I can bring up the first one for us here. This was by Marvin Montanaro from That Park Place. Disney expenses explode in new SEC filing revealing films aren't turning a profit. This is not exactly news, but it is nice to have it confirmed. The latest SEC filing for the Walt Disney Company is out, and that confirms what analysts have been warning for years. Disney expenses tied to movie production and marketing continue to balloon, while theatrical revenue refuses to keep pace. It's a pattern so lopsided that Disney's own numbers now show the studio loses money on its films, even in a year where theatrical revenue technically went up. That's not exactly the kind of magic shareholders like to see. The findings were reviewed publicly by financial analyst Valiant Renegade, joined by That Park Place's own Jonas J. Campbell, who walked viewers through the filing line by line. Their breakdown doesn't rely on guesswork. It's all right there in the reported figures, and the pattern is unmistakable. Costs are rising faster than profits, and the gap is widening. Full disclosure, the Valiant Renegade YouTube channel is affiliated with That Park Place. Disney reported $2.592 billion in theatrical distribution revenue for the fiscal year ending September 2025. On the surface, that seems like a bright spot, up 14% from the previous year. But the optimism evaporates once the cost column appears. Disney's Programming and Production tab came in at the staggering $4.26 billion, according to the filing. That number alone outstrips theatrical earnings by more than $1.6 billion before marketing is even considered. And then we get to the big one. Marketing, prints, ads, and general licensing costs, categorized under selling, general, administrative, and other, totaled $2.746 billion. That puts total film-related spending at more than $7 billion against $2.592 billion in theatrical income. This isn't a rounding error, it's a chasm. Valiant Renegade explained that this category includes the lion's shares of a film's promotional budget. The billboards, trailers, licensing, global ad buys, and everything needed to convince audiences to leave the couch. But the more Disney spends, the less return it gets. Disney's streaming division, Disney Plus Hulu, remains enormous on paper. Subscription fees brought in $20.772 billion, while ad revenue added another $3.684 billion. Yet when expenses are counted, the operating income shrinks to just $1.327 billion. Jonas noted that this number, while technically positive, is not a sustainable model for a streaming empire this size, especially one running two platforms and licensing content internally. Disney also counted the $3.458 billion for video on demand and home entertainment, but as Valiant Renegade pointed out, most of that is Disney paying itself, essentially moving money between divisions to maintain appearances. He characterizes this as a bookkeeping maneuver to reassure investors even when theatrical performance falters. The SEC filing doesn't speculate on why the spending keeps climbing, but the pattern is clear. Disney is releasing more films, but the demand hasn't returned to pre-2019 levels. The result is a slate stuffed with expensive productions, expensive marketing campaigns, and comparatively weak box office performance. This explains Disney's sudden pivot back to familiar brands, sequels to Zootopia, Toy Story, and Frozen. These aren't passion projects, they're lifeboats. Banking on known IP is safer than sinking hundreds of millions into new ideas that audiences may skip, with the caveat that it's only a lifeboat if you don't blow holes in the bottom of the boat, which I think is the most likely outcome given what we've seen of their recent output. Gentlemen, what do you say?
Isn't it nice when reality just comes a knocking and you have to open the door? It's like How long have we been being told everything's fine? It's okay. It's okay. You guys are the problem. We know they're spending money like drunken sailors. We know they're not making any money. We know they hide it in the UK because they're going to hope to go get some money back that they shouldn't have spent to begin with. And now we have to have an honest conversation about it. Isn't this nice?
It is nice that it's getting harder for them to hide it. They've been fudging things in their earnings calls and being real cute in their filings for a while. This is a more honest take, and I think it's because it's getting a lot harder to hide the bleeding.
And we don't have to say allegedly.
Right. It is dismal though, and if I were Disney, this would be a really tough thing for them to swallow, but they should be knocking on Netflix's door and saying, hey, would you like to have our content libraries back on your service again? Because we'd sure like to rent it to you.
Well,
No, go ahead.
I thought Pro was going to say something. Isn't this kind of this is the big pain in the butt of the streaming era? Everybody has their own. When it was just Netflix and Hulu, right? Because when it was just Hulu, and then it was Netflix and Hulu. Hey, this was very cool. It made sense. Now everybody and their mother has a streaming service, and the content's entirely too spread out. And if you have, well, here I'll put it to you like this: I can't remember what movie it was I wanted to watch, but it was not available for free. I had the ability to rent it for $9.99. And I realized that across the 8 streaming services, not including Tubi and Pluto, but the 8 that I currently pay for, I still had to rent this stupid movie from 30 years ago, and they had the audacity to charge me $10 for it, where if I had just gone to Walmart, I probably could have found it for $5.99, if not less.
That's where they're trying to do away with the physical media, though, and that is something that I am so against. I am very much a guy who says, buy the physical media because you want it in your library. They hate that. But that's also, they've cut off that whole revenue stream, and it's like, this is nuts. You guys used to get multiple revenue streams for each release because you could sell the physical media, you could rent it to various streaming services. Oftentimes you would have to be exclusive to one, but you could move it from one to another when their window ended. You got multiple payments for these things. Yep. Now you've centralized it all at your own service, and you're only getting a monthly flat rate for it. Yep. And when people have consumed the content they want to consume, they cancel. This is nuts.
Yep. And the best part is no one's even watching the new content. Everybody's watching stuff from 25, 40 years ago. So you now it's not even available if I'm even remotely curious about it, to go out and grab it. But my original point was that they've done this at their own peril, because now everything is mega expensive, but they're not making any money. No one's making money off of this except for Netflix. So it's like we're playing funny with the money. We're screaming everything's fine, even though all the canaries are at the bottom of their cages in every coal mine that they've entered so far. And everybody just kind of seems to want to continue down this path. It's ridiculous. There's no winning here. And at the end of the day, yes, there can be only one, and it's probably going to be Netflix unless they do something catastrophic.
Now, speaking of there's no winning here, we have never had this happen before, gentlemen. In the contest between Gandalf and Snape, Ian McKellen versus Alan Rickman, we have a tie, 50% to 50%. Now, I don't know why we are debating who have been the best older gentlemen and gentlewomen playing action hero roles. I don't know what would be going on today that would cause us to do this and theme it around it, but I've never seen us have a tie. We'll have to come back to this. We can't let this be. Gandalf and Snape, even, I know there's turmoil. Some of you out there don't know what to do with that, but that's where it is. For those of you watching on X right now, that's what's happened on YouTube. We had a 50-50 tie between Alan Rickman and Ian McKellen. Let's see. What should we do next? I know what we'll do next. We'll really flummox the crowd with the next poll. You ready for this one? I'm not even going to ask the question anymore. I'm just putting names out there. You ready? Patrick Stewart as Old Man Professor X versus Hugh Jackman as Old Man Wolverine. There's your poll. There's your poll, folks. Tell us who's the best in the Silver Fox category in this one. Lorn?
They're gonna have pooped my pants. Help me.
I want to.
That's great. That's a great impression.
I want to think about that one. That's a hard one. Could we say from Logan? Or are you saying if he was going to play the role right now?
No, from Logan.
Oh, okay. Well, God, that's tough. Because I actually love both of those men and their roles in that movie. He was so dedicated to that. Oh God,
it's close again. It's 54%. And we had a flat out tie between Alan Rickman and Ian McKellen.
Come back to me. What does Kevin say? I want to know what your rationale is.
I don't know, because they were both fantastic in it, but I guess I would have to go Hugh Jackman, because it was kind of his movie.
Yeah, and the thing is, he is so dedicated to that role too. He gives it 100% every single time. He loves the character, but man, especially in that movie, Professor X is so heartbreaking.
Yeah,
and it's such a powerhouse performance. I think I'm going to give it to Hugh, though. I think I'm going to go Wolverine for this one.
There can only be one.
See, if you had done Old Man Picard versus Old Man Xavier.
Listen, I got people out there right now telling us that we need to put Keanu Reeves in this. Is Keanu Reeves? Do we put him in the? You're telling me that Keanu, Neo, the one, is in his 60s now? I did not know this.
Yeah, I think he's 62.
He's spry. He's spry.
Let me double check.
He's in the Don't Crack Club.
Get ready. Listen, we're going to have Bill Maher versus Larry King in his later years. That's next up for the action.
He's 61. I was 1 year off.
61 and not a single gray hair. And he doesn't diet. Diet, not diet. Come on. Folks, I know he's on a diet. He has to be. Look what great shape he's in. And he's playing Shadow the Hedgehog now in his encore era. No, I got a good one for the next one. I know where we're going to go with the next one. I'm going to make people mad. There's going to be fighting out in the streets on this one. And it's going to be in the streets that we sent the people out into to go knock on the doors of the neighbors and say, Lord and Apollo's on. And now there's going to be fighting out there as they tell them about the next poll that's going to be up. Folks, don't go anywhere. Lorn, I see another stupid chat. What do we got over here?
All right. We have one from my son who's wishing me a happy birthday and says that he loves me. For fun, what is your favorite line in an Indiana Jones movie? So I think I'm going to give you a few because each movie has got a different one that I like. And I'm going to go with the original trilogy here. From Raiders, I think it's not the years, honey, it's the mileage. From Temple of Doom, it's when he finally has his turn, when it stops being about fortune and glory, when he sees the child labor in the mines, and Willie says to him, let's get out of here. And he says, yeah, all of us. From Crusade, let me think about that one for a minute.
That's the dog's name?
No, I think it's actually going to be a line from Henry Sr. when he actually calls him Indiana. When Indy is trying to get the Grail, he's saying, I could get it, Dad.
Let it go. Let it go.
I think it's just him saying Indiana for the first time, not calling him Junior. And Indy's head whips around. That's what he's waited his whole life to hear. And just that moment is something else. I'm also going to give you one from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because I know a lot of people don't like this movie, but there is a line in it that I think
straight away from Indiana Jones movies now. We're going into whatever this is. All right, go ahead. What do you got?
I think this one's actually kind of profound. It's when he has been forcibly retired from the university, and he's sharing a drink with the dean, who has also been.
I don't like this line. I don't like it, Lorn.
You don't?
No, I know what you're going to say. I don't like the line.
It's a sad line, but I think it's actually profound because this is something that does happen in life. He
We're
says,
at the age. Go ahead, say it. I know where you're going.
where life stops giving us things and instead starts taking them away. And that's a moment that you do have to recognize when it happens. And so I actually like that line because it's about real life.
But here's why I don't like it. I don't like it because if you orient yourself in the proper way, in the best way possible, then it's no guarantee, but there's a maybe that you might be so productive and so fruitful and so good and so kind that when the time comes that your faculties are diminished, and when you say goodbye to people that you've loved all of your life, that the people that you've brought into this world and that you have stewarded along the way might be the bouquet that makes you stooped over in the garden well worth it. That's why I don't like the line.
Well, I'm not saying that that's an inevitable thing, meaning that sadness is always there. In fact, I think that's what the climax of the Crystal Skull shows, because at the end of it, he's got Marion back, he's married to her, and he's got his son.
And we're gonna get Marion. Going to the chapel.
It's also why Dial of Destiny is such a mean-spirited movie, because when you give him those things, when his life is now complete and he has achieved the treasure that he actually needed, Dial takes it all away.
Yep.
The Kathleen Kennedy way. We got nothing new to offer, so we're going to just wreck it all.
Let's take the inner psyche of Lucasfilm and just pour it upon our heroes and say, there's no good, nothing. We'll deconstruct you like we deconstruct ourselves. If you can't have material things, you can't have anything.
Especially if you're a man.
Next up is Coopster73 for 10. What's that?
Said real life fake wizards out here.
Oh, hey, real life. Give me a minute and I'll try and send you a link if you want to jump in.
You know why he's here. He's here because we had that Ian McKellen poll and it came out 50-50. He's here to set the record straight. By golly, that's not going to be allowed around this place. He's going to come in here and turn it into the Shire. Hugh Jackman is old man Wolverine. We're calling it 60% beating Patrick Stewart. And the next one's going to make every one of you out there angry. Just get ready. This is like going to Jimmy Kimmel Live. You're actually going to go to bed angry this time from the Lorn and Apollo show. You thought you were coming here for a fun jubilee of joy? Oh, no, not when pro's around. Get ready. No question again, just the poll. You'll see it in a second.
Coopster73 for 10. Would Disney losing money per quarterly meeting have a chance of Ellison or others to do a hostile takeover? I don't think so. I think your best chance of something similar to that happening was the Peltz bids that were made over the last couple of sessions, but he seems to be out, and as far as I know, nobody has been quietly acquiring shares. Although if they're doing it really quietly, we might not know until they announce that actually all of these shell organizations that have been acquiring these shares are actually me. I don't know. What do you think, bro?
I think that Coopster has the coolest avatar. I mean, it even says Coop, not Goop, Coop back there on the TV. I mean, that's a cool avatar. Ellison is not going to have to do a hostile takeover. It would be incredibly difficult. That's not what's happening. We have heard that Zaslav and the crew over at Warner Brothers are exceedingly positive and kind toward the Ellisons at this time. And I do still believe that Paramount is going to win the day. Skydance is going to come in and take that company for themselves.
I don't think he's actually asking about the Warner Brothers buyout. I think he's asking, could somebody do a hostile takeover of Disney?
Oh, good Lord, no. I thought this meant with Disney losing money per quarterly meeting, would Ellison go after Warner Brothers in a hostile takeover because the market's open for the taking because Disney's weak? No. Disney is not up for a hostile takeover. You've got to have, even Elon can't do a hostile takeover of Disney. It would require a corporation the size of Apple or Google. Somebody like that would have to do a hostile takeover. And why would any of them want Disney? No way. No way.
Not right now, certainly. Sedan DeVille Bear.
I guess Tesla's big enough if Elon wanted it. Now that I think about it, Tesla itself could come in and hostile take over Disney and say, well, screw your animatronics. We're putting Optimus in here. It's a Doge world after all. It's a Doge world after all. That'd be fun. Look at this. Clint Eastwood in later years versus John the Duke Wayne in later years. Clint is winning it with 56%. These have been very close. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this is not, I hear the people out there right now raging at me. This is not John Wayne versus Clint Eastwood. You know that's not what you should do. Did you do that? Did you vote John Wayne versus Clint Eastwood? That is, refresh your browser. Fix this right now. This is only their later years. For John Wayne, we're talking about post-McClintock, okay? And for Clint Eastwood, we're talking about 1990s and later. You got to pick when they're playing their parts as older men.
What is that awful John Wayne movie where he plays a cop? Oh, what is the name of that movie?
Braddock, that's not a bad movie. I love that movie. You talking about the one where he goes to England?
Yes. Yes.
That's a great movie. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, dude, the chase scene in the car.
We did that one for the genre guys, and I was delighted by that movie. I wasn't expecting a lot, and I had a lot of fun with it.
All right. What is the Clint Eastwood movie? Is it Gran Turismo? Is that the name of it?
Oh, Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Oh, right.
Versus, listen, it's that movie versus True Grit. That's the way you got to view this poll, okay? That's what you got to do with this.
Well, if it's those two movies, I'd have to go with Clint.
You don't like, what is Lorn Connor? What is Rooster
Torino's
Cogburn?
A good movie.
It is a good movie, but you're telling me that you go that way over Rooster Cogburn.
I preferred John Wayne's other roles to Rooster Cogburn. I actually preferred Jeff Bridges' take on the character.
Darn it, he's right. I secretly also agree, but I didn't want to say it publicly. Feel your hands, you son of a gun. I would love to just go back to the Rooster Cogburn quotes and just say them. I mean, we could do an entire show on those quotes. They are phenomenal.
Sedan DeVille Bear for 2. What was the first video game console you ever had? In my case, it was a ColecoVision.
Oh, let's see.
Atari 800. Although that's cheating. That's cheating because did I own it or did my father own it? Technically, in a legal sense, my father owned it. From the standpoint of what was going on in my mind, it was mine, all mine.
Well, who played it most?
That's a hard call.
Did he play it?
Hard call. He played it a lot. Jumpman. I don't think we played Pac-Man. There was some game. Well, I've got the stuff here in the studio somewhere. I don't want to try to go get it right now. I've got actually in the studio over the top of some of these, over the top of some of the doors, I've got old Atari cartridges. I'll have to get them in a minute and call some of those out. But man, fun times.
See, my first, it was mine. I procured it myself. Was a TurboGrafx 16. But the first console in the house was an Atari. I think it was I don't remember if it was the 2600. I think it was the 2600. And then obviously where I was old enough to actually play it was the NES. But I did love me some Pong though.
Next up, we got Chef Eddie for 5. Poll question: who's the best Highlander, Connor MacLeod or Duncan MacLeod?
Duncan, come on, dude. That's not even a question.
I have to beg off because I've only seen the one.
Unless
there can be only one.
Yes. Unless the criteria was who wore the white New Balance sneakers and jeans the best.
All right, I've gone and found it here in the studio. Let's see here. Let me see. Super Boulder Dash. Does anybody remember this game? This was a game I played as a kid a lot. Let me see if I can get this pulled up. Super Boulder Dash. See if you guys remember this game at all. Oh man, I'm seeing pictures of this for the first time in forever. Let's see if we can pull this up on Atari. Let's see, Atari. Let's see, videos. All right. Give me the screen for a minute, Lorn. We're going to go back into yesteryear for a minute, okay? Talking about birthday stuff.
You don't have the control?
Well, I mean, I do, and it's sounding fancy to say it that way. Darn you. All right, hang on, share screen. Here we go. We're going to put it up on there. Boulder Dash. You guys tell me if you remember this game. I've still got the instructions and everything in perfect condition, right? You guys see what I see? No, you don't. Here we go. Add a stage. There we go. Okay. Here is Super Boulder Dash. We're going to turn the audio on. Tell me if you remember this game.
I'm supposed to go to the flashing things. Yes.
So the goal here is to dig little what do you call it?
I haven't ever actually played Boulder Dash before.
Down and
my experience of games like this is with Repton.
On top of either the gems or the bad guys. Now, this is very boring in the narrative.
How do I get down?
Do you guys ever play this? Super Boulder Dash?
No, I remember the title. It's a bit like Dig Dug in a way.
It is?
But I like them.
All right, he's getting that. He can't go under a boulder, though. If he goes under a boulder and lets it crush his head, that's bad. Okay, you shouldn't do that. If he goes directly under the boulder, though, he can hold it on his head. So it's if you have a space between you and the boulder. And water. See, look that. Can I make it here? Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, you got scared. Oh, so close. Super Boulder Dash. There you go. There you go. Memories. Yeah. Yeah.
There was a game, and it was like an alien invasion, and there was a bunch of pyramids, and you would fight the pyramids. It was pretty cool. Can't remember anything else about it, though.
You thinking about Beam Rider?
Maybe, I don't know.
Any of you ever had a birthday at an arcade?
Well, I think I probably attended a birthday at an arcade. I don't think I ever had a birthday party myself.
Listen, it counts. If you got invited to a birthday party at an arcade, that's a memory to have right there, because that's something that today's kiddos just don't know. You can't coach that. You can't replace it, right?
And if they have been to an arcade, their arcades are lame compared to
Yeah, they're playing. What are they playing over at Dave and Buster's? That's all they know. They don't know. They don't know the old days. They don't know. They don't know the line for Street Fighter. And there's one kid who's been there for 7 matches in a row, and everybody can't wait to take his stupid Hadoukens and just knock him out.
Or the punch out, the big green net Mac.
Oh yeah.
I remember putting $12 in quarters into an Altered Beast game, and I think getting real close to the ending before I ran out.
Folks, we got an update. Clint Eastwood has won. Not at the arcade, and he was not the guy playing Ryu, but Clint Eastwood has won with an astounding 61%. I can't believe this. Old Man Eastwood beats Old Man Wayne. What have we become? What have we become?
How have we strayed so far?
I got to think of another one that's going to make people mad. Hang on. I'll come up with it. You guys continue on. I'll stall for me while I come up with this next poll. What do we got?
All right. Next up, we've got Ubisoft blames people playing fewer games for struggles, not its own misfires. This is another one from Marvin Montanaro at Geeks and Gamers. Ubisoft is giving a new explanation for its ongoing decline, and the company's latest theory is bold. According to a new filing in the United Kingdom, Ubisoft claims the reason its recent releases keep stumbling isn't tied to quality, direction, or player reception. No! The real issue is that consumers simply aren't playing new games anymore. Yes, really. In a company's house filing, Ubisoft argued that the gaming market has shifted so dramatically that new single-purchase releases struggle to stand out. Players, they say, are playing fewer games and sticking to long-running titles for extended periods. This supposedly explains why Ubisoft continues to swing and miss each year, despite gaming as a whole experiencing explosive growth. It's the corporate equivalent of shrugging at a burned dinner and saying the oven must have been in a bad mood. Let's get this out of the way. The gaming industry is not shrinking, it's not contracting, it's not in some death spiral where nobody touches new releases. The opposite is happening. The gaming audience is bigger than ever, with record engagement across PC, console, mobile, and handheld hybrids. Millions of players buy and love new games every year. They just aren't buying Ubisoft's new games. The company spent the better part of a decade chasing trends, abandoning innovation, and turning once-beloved franchises into checkbox collecting slogs. When the most common meme about your game is the map looks like a CVS receipt, maybe the issue isn't the market. Add in constant delays, inconsistent quality control, and an identity crisis that makes Hollywood look stable, and you get a recipe for exactly what the financial statement spells out. Instability, revenue drops, and unpredictability. But instead of saying that, Well, it seems easier to blame the customers. Ubisoft's filing argues that subscription services, long-tail live service titles, and free-to-play games have reshaped the market. That's technically true. Those models exist. They are popular. They do keep players coming back. But it's hard to claim these trends hurt new releases when Elden Ring dominated the world, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 exploded in popularity, Black Myth Wukong put up big sales numbers, Baldur's Gate 3 set new expectations, Resident Evil smashed remake records, Helldivers 2 exploded beyond every prediction, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom became a cultural event, and even Ghost of Yotei made enough to be profitable, just not as much as Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, the boo birds are not going to like that last line, let me tell you. By the way, let me interrupt just briefly. This is very important. Folks, Liam Neeson is somehow, you all are wrong this time, okay? I'm just going to come out and say it. We're not, I'm not saying we're not friends anymore, but if we go out for dinner, I'm downgrading the appetizer. That's what I'm saying, okay? We're going from the trio sampler to just the focaccia. That's it. Because you all, okay, it's coming down a little bit. People are beginning to see the error in their ways. Liam Neeson in the Taken series, he's great. But Denzel Washington in Equalizer is better. Flat out.
Yeah.
It just is. It just is. The Equalizer, it was in my top 3. I think Equalizer 3 was that last year that came out in the early winter? Was in my top 3 movies of the entire year. And nobody watched it. And that it's a crying shame. It's a shame. It was a great movie.
So what's the split at right now?
54% are with Liam Neeson and the Taken series. And if any of you can do a good Liam Neeson from the Taken series on the phone, listen, we will take that home to the bank in this show. And as we're doing so, let me just tell you, we are 4 super chats away from the goal tonight, folks. $5 super chats. We only need 4 more. 4 more to hit the goal. Thank you all so much. So much fun.
Liam Neeson has only been Liam Neeson for Taken for the last 15 years.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Do you have a particular set of skills, Mr. Apollo?
I have a particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for shows like this.
That's pretty good.
Although I just say I've enjoyed most of Naked Gun so far.
Chef Eddie is calling me out right now. Can we put this on the screen? Can you believe Chef Eddie would do this? Chef Eddie, where's this? Chef Eddie, I am not trying to sway the chat. I am trying. Hey, we're at 51%. No, I've swayed the chat. I mean, Chef Eddie, I am not trying to sway the chat right now. I would never do that. This is scientific polling. We're up there with Rasmussen. This poll brought to you by Rasmussen. Not really. We're working. Listen, Chef. Okay, we're trying to be. This is a real journalistic locale. Okay, all right. We're not a Jimmy Kimmel kind of place. We're not serving you up slop here.
We've got a press tag in our hat.
It's tied again. We can't have a tie again. And Liam's back in the lead with 51%. I'm so excited about this result. I just can't tell you how excited I am. Yeah, we're no more blooming onion. No more blooming onion. We're down to the focaccia bread, and they already give it away for free anyway.
We do have a couple of additional super chats. We've got one from Retromeister for 5. Hail all and happy birthday, Lorn. Outside of playing Outlaws, you should definitely check out Red Dead Revolver, which plays like a Clint Eastwood flick. Do you know, is that one getting remastered? I have seen it. I have never played it. I just didn't know. I know it's pretty old now, so I wasn't sure if it was on the block to get a remake or not.
I haven't heard that it's being remastered, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's both of those. Well, all 3 games are great. The latter 2 have gotten most of the focus. So we'll see, but these updates where they bring them out into 4K, so long as they upgrade the textures along with it, man, some of them are really great. Just don't modernize it. We don't need it made for modern audiences.
I spent my 25th birthday playing Red Dead Revolver.
That's a good time. That's a real good time. You know what's strange, guys? You ever heard people say that they talk about the things that you value in life? I never look back at playing video games with my friends or playing a really good video game and feeling like I lost out by doing so. Now, if I was sitting at the office playing Minesweeper and pretending that I was doing something, that's a different story. But when it comes to LAN parties and Halo and getting together to play Warcraft 3, listen, I don't have any. I don't look back at that and think, man, I missed out. I think, wow, we were really, strategizing and coming up with ideas, and we were, in community. It was a great thing, fantastic thing. I hope everybody out there has had some of those experiences, and if not, well, let's bring them back and let's try again.
I've been kind of excited to see what's going on the retro gaming scene, where there's a game coming out tomorrow that is called. Let me look it up again real quick because I've forgotten the second half of the title.
As you do. Let me just put this out there. JJ, I don't know if you're being serious about this. Let's talk about this for a minute, okay? Me and you. Mano y mano, unless you're not a mano, but I think you are. JJ, listen. You're telling me we want to do Old Man Shatner versus Old Man Hamill. Now, the only way I can do that is if we exclude the Luke stuff completely and we forget what Hamill says in every single context. And we're basically going to be down to Hamill as the Joker in the Gotham series, right? In the Arkham series. That's it. That's all we're going to have left.
Shame on you. How could you forget the Guyver?
And
I've forgotten it already again.
Jimmy J. Walker was a tour de force in that movie.
This is going to be like, Andre the Giant versus a dust mite. I mean, we can't do that. Shatner will get 98%. We can't do this, JJ. We're not into cruel and unusual punishments around here. Come on.
We should do it just to see how much Shatner will win by.
Okay, fine. We're going to end it on a tie. Denzel and Liam have tied yet again. 2 times, never happened before, 2 times tonight. And you know what? We'll do it. Here we go. You all want it? You want to see what happens with this? Totally unbiased poll here. Okay, and Mark Hamill. Steve. Okay. Totally unbiased poll here. Folks, let us know what you think about this one. Totally unbiased and scientific poll. Go ahead and tell us Shatner versus Mark Hamill.
It could be Shatner from Haven. He was a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Lorn and Apollo have not seen the poll. They're waiting for the results. So I'll tell them later, folks. Don't worry about
it. We do have another one from Retromeister for 5. Ubisoft, I'm tripping over my lips. Ubisoft has been going down since 2017 and has been slowly but surely removing Tom Clancy's name and legacy for the company, starting with X Defiant. Yeah, it's kind of a sad tale with Ubisoft, and I think that they've kind of undergone the same kind of subversion that I think a lot of other big AAA studios have. They're paying for it now. The one bright side to all of that I see is that a lot of the developers that made these companies big are no longer with those companies and are now, in many cases, starting their own indie studios, which I think is a really positive development. So I'm hoping that we continue to see smaller titles, indie stuff pick up. By the way, that title that I was trying to think of is called Neon Inferno, and it's kind of it's like an arcade shooter that has got some elements of Contra and I think it was Wild Guns, I think it was called. It's you can shoot in the foreground or the background on it. It looks like fun. So check that out if you guys are interested.
And I love these guys who go back and they make the retro games run on the old consoles. Literally, that's it. So cool. I've got a question out there coming to us about whether or not this is old Shatner versus old Mark Hamill. And the answer to that is yes. I can clearly see that you all did not fully, I did not articulate this well because Shatner is not winning by as much as I thought he would. So I don't know. Maybe I was not clear in the polling and the way that we presented this. I tried to be as fair and objective as but the English language just sometimes. Did Hamill actually go up by 6% or 1%? He did. He's at 6%. It's 94-6. Okay. I'm ready to call it, guys. It's just terrible. And we did everything we could to help Mark Hamill, as we always do around here.
There are still districts out there in Pennsylvania that haven't turned in their polling yet.
Yeah, hanging chads, I'm sure. Okay, we're going to end the poll. Let's see what it turns out to be. Folks, here's what we've got. Shatner, vote for him in parentheses, 94%. Mark Hamill, and in parentheses, Stinky Doo-Doo Head with 6%. So very close. Mark, you gave it a good effort. And maybe one day. But here, you are not the chosen one.
All right, moving on to our next story. We've got Saudi Arabia will bring back the Snyderverse and possible Warner Brothers Discovery deal. Rumor. I need to focus on the rumor part at the beginning of this.
I got people asking me, is The Rock considered an older gentleman now?
I think he qualifies.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Remember, his debut in cinema was as the Scorpion King, and that's going back to
greatest CGI display the world has ever seen.
That's like almost 25 years ago.
He's a spring chick. I'm not doing it. The Rock, he can't be an old guy yet. He just can't be. All
right. Well, who would you put him up against if you were going to accept him as an old guy? You going to do Arnold?
Maybe. I could, maybe.
I would do Batista.
Yeah, that's probably a better pairing. Yep.
We'll consider it. That's not the one we're putting out right now. I'm going to consider it, okay? The Rock may show up. We'll find out from the crowd what they think about that. May show up.
All right. The Christmas deadline is nearing for Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav to decide if the company will be sold in part or in whole, and if so, to whom. Surprisingly, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has become a recent contender. Now, sources tell Cosmic Book News that along with all of the valuable Warner Brothers IPs, Saudi Arabia wants the Snyderverse. For weeks now, Zack Snyder has been posting pictures from his time at the DC Extended Universe on his Instagram. Could he, as Cosmic Book News suggests, be building momentum for the return of the Snyderverse brought to us by Saudi Arabia?
It can stay in Saudi Arabia. Have fun with it.
I'm trying to make this at least sound credible. Come on, guys.
This is just Marvin just taking a dump on the Snyder Bros. I mean, there's no way.
Marvin's currently flipping a table and he doesn't know why.
The Snyderverse is going to Elbonia next.
I imagine before he actually saw the story, he just sat up in his chair at his desk and went, I sense a great disturbance in the force. So millions of voices cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced. I fear something terrible has happened. On November 4th, Snyder ignited speculation when he shared a picture of Henry Cavill in costume with the caption, 4x5 Polaroid rare color. I love this photo. It's pure Superman. Simply sharing a picture doesn't imply intent, of course. Still, it was enough to excite fans, to which I'm sure that he said under his breath, all two of them. Rumors are circulating that if Warner Brothers Discovery is sold...
Henry Cavill is the dude version of Sidney Sweeney, everybody loves the guy. He's the archon of masculinity, but he just can't get a win. Just can't get a win on the silver screen.
Yeah, that's very true. And I guess that does parallel Sidney as well.
Does Henry land in the old guy category now? Don't tell me he does. I'm going to feel good. I would feel decrepit if Henry Cavill is old.
He's still a baby.
By the way, Daniel Craig is currently beating Vin Diesel, which I think comes from a place of people forgetting that Vin Diesel is perhaps the greatest voice actor of our era. In fact, you might even say he's the best vocal... What would you say? The best vocal artist of the epoch in which we live. He played Groot in the number of ways. The ability of this man to convey the heart, the soul, the spirit itself of Groot every time he said, I am Groot in a different way. Amazing. And you all are voting for Daniel Craig just because of Casino Royale. Is that all it took? Is that all it took for you to forget? You all forgot what family means, obviously.
That's right. Family.
Do you suppose if Groot actually tried to say, I am Groot, that it would come out as something else?
Into the Groot verse you've done with us, eh? In Grootverse. Inception and Griff. No, I can't make that work. I don't know, Lorn. You've created a paradox, and I think this should have an official name to it.
Well, think it over. Here's where Marvin actually gets to the point that I'm sure that he wanted to get to at the very beginning. When news first broke about Saudi Arabia's interest in acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery, there were conflicting reports as to what role it would play. Hollywood producer Patrick Caligari? I'm going to go with it. Claimed that the kingdom was about one signature away from buying the studio outright. However, Matthew Baloney at Puck floated the idea that Saudi Arabia would only be backing Comcast's bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Regardless of whose bid Zaslav ultimately accepts, the deal will ultimately face regulatory approval. Another reason fans of the Snyderverse may want to hold off celebrating a deal between Warner Brothers Discovery and Saudi Arabia is an added claim from Cosmic Book News source. According to their information, Christopher Nolan is also set to return as executive producer of a future Snyderverse project. Without confirmation from anyone involved, some might say this is too good to be true, depending on one's perspective. The funds required for Saudi Arabia or any other studio to realign all the stars for another stab at the Snyderverse are almost unfathomable, and that's before even acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery and overcoming any legal hurdles. For now, all we have are unverified rumors and speculation, and I have misattributed this article. This was Trevor Denning who wrote it. It was not Marvin, which probably accounts for its even keel.
Yeah, we got this wrong, and it was missing all the loathing we anticipated.
Yeah, it's you can just mention the name and Marvin will go off. He's got in his intro to Tooneytown TV, he shows a great big picture of Zack Snyder and just captions it douche.
By the way, new poll out. Tom Cruise versus the Dolph. Mm-hmm. On the side of Tom Cruise, he basically saved all of the movie industry and every theater in America.
Yeah.
That's okay. Minor achievement, granted. On the side of the Dolph, he has basically defeated every one of the old men action heroes out there in their own movies. So...
All right, give me the list.
You know what? Here. You want the list? I'll get the list. You want a list? Hang on. Donovan says this, so it must be true. Mm-hmm. Yep. And Dom just beat cancer. You want to vote against that, Lorn?
No, I'm just I wanted to consider it just to.
Yeah. Think about this is your birthday, Lorn. You don't want to screw this up. You don't want to get off on the bad foot. And by the way, it's going to get harder next time because I'm putting Bruce Willis out there. So if you don't vote for Bruce, you know you're in the wrong. There's no way you can morally vote for anybody that's not Bruce Willis now. You're just a bad person. Like you'll go to work tomorrow and feel like, man, I need to take 3 showers. There's something on me. There's a crud on me that I can't wash off anymore because I didn't vote for Bruce Willis.
This is what tears it for me.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep. Probably works for Elon.
Yep. So I guess Dolph it is.
All right. 77% disagree with you, Lorn. So hard fail on your part. I tried to lean you the other direction, but clearly I failed. Tom Cruise, the easy winner here. So you're upside down on the polling.
No, it's honestly, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan, so I'd have voted for Dolph anyway.
All right. Then we're getting out of that. We're done with Tom Cruise. Get him out of here.
Although I did like him in Minority Report.
All right. Next poll's coming up. Folks, good luck with this one. You're screwed either way. The new poll out is Bruce Willis versus Chuck.
Oh.
Yeah. Who are you going to vote for? On the one hand, if you vote for Bruce, then obviously you're going to pass away tomorrow from a roundhouse kick to the face. But if you don't vote for Bruce, you're probably an awful person who supports all kinds of disease and sadness and sorrow. So what are you going to do? 63% of you are choosing to live. So congratulations. 63% of you have gone with the Ranger.
Yeah,
upon us.
The best part is Chuck Norris would lecture you about not voting for Bruce Willis
He
before he kicked you in the face for
That's
voting
right. That's exactly right. Lorn, you seem even perplexed about this one.
Well, my thinking is I couldn't vote against John McClane. But then my counter thinking is Chuck Norris was born the day before World War II era Germany surrendered.
Well, and that's because when he roundhouse kicked his way out of the womb, which we now call a cesarean section, the C stands for Chuck, he pointed his finger at the sky and said bang, which was enough to knock down a whole lot of planes. And can I just say that Chuck Norris managed to actually embed into the lyrics of his theme song for Walker, Texas Ranger, the line, "'Cause the eyes of a ranger are upon you," which is a way for him to remind all of his foes, those who actually are still alive and breathing, that he's like a malicious Santa Claus, ready to strike at any moment.
Oh my God.
I just want you all to know, I'm not telling people about this tomorrow when I announce that Bruce Willis lost in polling on my channel. I'm not telling anybody about this. This stays between all of us here on the show tonight.
By the way, guys, I did intend for tonight to be kind of a Q&A thing too, so if you guys have any questions you want to ask any one of us on the panel, go ahead and throw them out there and we'll pull some good ones out of the chat.
Yeah, but if you want to do that in 3 more super chats, boy, oh boy, we love you even more for it. Lorn, it's your birthday, and Bruce Willis is, taking it on the chin. I hope you're happy. I hope you're proud of yourself. Read the super chat.
SFX Sabretooth Raptor for 5. I cannot do a Liam voice, so I'm not going to try. Culture has a particular set of...
Let's see if Kevin... Is Kevin just a quipster on this, or does he have the full ability? Let's see what he's got.
Well, here we go. Culture has a particular set of skills. Skills he has acquired through long years. Skills that make him the best gardener. Happy birthday, Lorn.
Culture was telling me today about, what is it, Basilica is the official name of broccoli. And the only thing I kept thinking as he was telling me all about the various plants and the species and what do you call it, the phylus, I guess, I don't know, Basilica. As he was telling me about this, the only thing going through my head was, I wish this wasn't during the live show. I wish this was any other time, literally, that he wanted to tell me about, the pH levels that kale needs to grow fully and be empowered, right? What a joy that Culture brings to us. Culture was under the weather, though, and he's feeling better. We're happy about that. In all seriousness. Lorn, you got this one, too, that people are still celebrating this birthday. It should be a national holiday.
I appreciate it, Michelle. Thank you very much. Like I said, I don't normally make a big deal out of it, but I'm happy to share it here with all of you, and I'm glad that you're all...
Make a wish. Blow out your candles.
There are calls for me to put the Logarine into that clip. It's so crazy I might do it. That would be a lot of fun.
Retromeister for 5. Bruce was my childhood hero for voicing a character named Bruno in a spy animated show called Bruno the Kid that co-starred Tony Jay and Mark Hamill. I did not know that.
Huh. How about that? Nobody's seen that?
Never even heard of it before now.
Yeah.
Well, what a great way to respond to a super chat. Somebody fake it. Man, talk about how much it changed your life.
It was an inspiration, that spy character.
And you voted against Bruce Willis, and then somebody tells you about their favorite childhood memory, and your response is, never heard of that.
I didn't vote against Bruce Willis. I said that I couldn't vote against John McClane.
Did you vote?
No, I did not.
A vote in absence is probably a vote against, I'll just say.
Well, I'd have to vote against both of them then, because I voted for neither.
Cooking the books, that's what's happening here.
Says the man who tried to sway the chat.
Oh. On the William Shatner issue. Oh my God.
So you admit it.
So we're going back into people's past now. That's how it's going to be tonight.
This is great. The referee just admitted he's corrupt.
Throw on the red flag right now. Red flag coming out. Folks, we're keeping track of these super chats. We're at 8 out of 10. The countdown has stopped, but it's not the final countdown. We're keeping track, and we're at 8 out of 10. We need 2 more super chats. And if we get those 2 more super chats, here's what we can promise you. Not only will we show you the video game that we're going to be giving out to our members early next year to be able to play for free, just for being a member of the channel, but also, if Force of Light does a live stream from a hot tub, as Packing Protons has paid most of his inheritance towards making be a reality. If Force of Light does a hot tub live stream, we are telling you that the minute Valiant Renegade climbs into that thing, we're sending the House of Apollo, Kevin, in there to tug him right on back out. That's what there will be no Valiant Renegade suds on the live stream. 2 more super chats makes it happen. Kevin, will you jump into the Force of Light hot tub and wrestle Valiant Renegade out of there? Will you do that for the chat?
120%.
Hey, for America, Kevin. For America.
All right. We do have a few questions that people have started asking. Q&A. Kevin, what name did you wrestle under?
The American Way, Kevin Apollo.
Which I like the idea of the wrestler's name that is literally death.
From William Schweikert. For Lorn, as you stated, you're not a fan of Star Trek Voyager. Have you watched any of the Jerry Ryan episodes, and did you watch both Aaron Gray episodes of Star Trek Continues? I know that I did see some Jerry Ryan episodes, but I don't remember how, because I stopped watching the show before she was brought on board. I think I stopped early or midway in season 2. I know one of my good friends at the time was a big Voyager fan, and I remember I did see the series finale at his place, but somewhere I picked up some other ones too. I don't quite remember how it happened.
Make it to Sulu?
I'm sorry?
You didn't even make it to the Sulu episode?
Nope, did not. Voyager was not my thing. I wanted it to be my thing. I was excited about it before it came out. I even bought the special TV guide at the time that had all the information about this new upcoming show, which actually had some bad information in it as well. I remember originally they said the holographic doctor had a name, and I cannot remember what it was, but there was some misdirecting stuff in there.
Lorn, let me see if I can sway you. Okay, since you've accused me of swayage tonight. Okay? Let me just play a minute of this and see if you can now come to the realization of what you've been missing out on.
I don't remember Tasha being that exuberant.
Out in Sector Bubba 9, past the Cracker Barrel Nebula, we're cruising through the stars in a rusted Winnebago. Good cards on the porch, wearing flip-flops and Crocs, sipping tea, sweet iced out his warp safe mason jar box. He says engage while lighting his pipe. Riker shirts off, grilling ribs with hype. Wesley runs up, tripwire on his foot. We laugh as he trips and lands face first and sud. Beam me up, there's gators in the nacelles. We got Borgs in the barn and tribbles in the wells. We're redneck trekkers, just warping with pride, with a trailer park, starship, and a possum inside. Warp speed, y'all!
Lorn, are you a Trekkie now?
I was never not a Trekkie. I enjoyed Star Trek The Next Generation. It's Voyager that I loathed.
By the way, if that's the thing that gets us in trouble on the channel, if that's finally the thing that gets us, we want to give a shout out real quick before anybody gets mad at us. Thank you to Neural Derp for making that. Yeah, all credit goes to Neural Derp. Please don't hit us with one of those yucky things out there on the YouTube land.
The one thing that I would say about that video, though, that I disagree with is that Worf would not win that fight with the
against a garbage panda, trash panda.
He lost every fight he was ever in. Every time that he had to act as a security officer, he got thrown across the bridge.
So it's DS9 Worf. DS9 win.
I'm getting requests right now. People want me to go to the end. I don't know why.
Hexagram says, let's boldly go, y'all, again and again. On tractor beams and denim dreams, warping past them fancy.
Oh, my Lord.
Troy's looking good.
Happy birthday, Lorn.
And the other question asked was, did I watch both Aaron Gray episodes of Star Trek Continues? I've seen the first one. I don't think I've seen the second one yet. On the place that I was watching it, they only had the first 5 episodes. I believe there's 11 in the entire series, so I haven't seen 6 through 11 yet. I will get to it. I haven't finished the series yet. Next up, we got Fire Chief 626. Since you brought up John McClane, is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not? It is.
That's the right answer to live. I'll tell you that. Chuck Norris has won, and we just won't talk about what happened to the other guy.
Mike Glass, Lorn and Kevin, did you know that kangaroos can't hop backwards? I did.
I did, yes.
I mean, what's the point in even being on the earth if you can't go backwards? If you literally are designed to just hop forward, I mean, what do you do if you're stuck and you need to go back? Kangaroos just poorly made animals. That's all you can say.
I wouldn't say it to their face.
You could say it to their backside, though, because obviously they have no recourse.
Michelle Marshall for $4.99 for the goal.
You'd have to watch a kangaroo slowly rotate around to take you on. That's right. Hey, buddy.
Wait for me to turn around.
Michelle's got us to 9, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 9. We need one more super chat to hit that birthday goal and ensure that if Valiant Renegade tries to climb in that hot tub, Kevin's going to be there with a lasso. And what else do we need? What else we need to fish Valiant out of a hot tub? You're going to need a snorkel in case he goes deep. If he goes down under, you're going to have to get a snorkel to fish him out of there.
A big net.
Yeah, probably a big net, too.
Chef Eddie, did Lorn get the new Lego Enterprise D set? No, I haven't. I have seen pictures of it. I haven't seen what the cost is. I'm pretty sure that's going to be an expensive set because it looks big.
$100 billion.
Hey, I'm sure you've seen it, Kevin. Are you going to get it?
Oh no, I don't have that kind of money.
Okay. Well, it looks to me like it's like the big sets for Star Wars, like the Razor Crest and the Millennium Falcon. So you got to spend a fortune to get those. And while I would love to have it, like Kevin, I don't have that kind of money to spend on those kind of sets. And even if I did, I wouldn't have anywhere to put it. So
I do think Nolan, though. I do think Nolan has plans on getting it.
Does he?
I would love to see somebody in a third world country. I wouldn't love to see this. This is ironic. Somebody in a third world country pulls up on their brand new smartphone that's been gifted to them by the government. They pull it up and then go on social media to see what the world's like out there. And they see that while they are struggling to survive every day, you guys bought a giant Lego Enterprise D set. And they say, this is what they're spending money on. I'm saying that because you guys voted against Bruce Willis. I mean, I want you to feel bad now.
I still say that we spend it more wisely than the government.
Probably so. True. If the government just spent a little bit more money on stuff, I'm sure it'll work out eventually. One
from my son for the whole panel. Who are your favorite secondary characters in all pop culture media?
Ooh. Well, the first one that pops in my head is Robin, but I'm not sure why. I like Short Round.
Kevin?
I'm thinking I got so many. Let's see. Sarah Jane.
Bruce Willis as selected by this audience.
That's right.
Secondary character in every movie, Bruce Willis. You all, I tell you. We got a bunch of Demi Moores watching this show.
I'm going to say Marcus Brody.
Short Round's better.
I'm a Sala guy. Bad dates.
You're telling me that you put you put Short Round and Marcus in a ring, and you're rooting for Marcus over Short Round.
I wouldn't disparage Short Round, but one of the reasons that I'm choosing Marcus is that's what I gave my son as his middle name.
You know, you really should have thought about going with Short Round as middle name. It's elegant, prestigious, looks great on a birth certificate.
That's sad. I met a mom today. Sorry.
Yeah. Instant starter when you're at the doctor.
I met a mom today who named her son Maverick. I have to say I was a little jealous that I didn't do it.
That's pretty good.
What's Maverick's partner's name?
Goose.
Goose. Yeah, that's probably harder to do. People aren't going to get it right away if your middle name's Goose. They're just going to look at you.
Quark is a phenomenal secondary character. Yes.
Folks, give us some more out there. Go ahead. Give us best middle name from a movie. If you could give your child the coolest middle name from a major movie character, what would it be? Tell us what you got. Hey, we hit the goal, Chef Eddie, who I am totally now a fan of again. Chef Eddie, me and you were friends. Look at that. Best secondary character was Ramirez from Highlander.
Ramirez, my friend.
Ramirez.
I'm an Egyptian Spaniard with a Japanese sword.
Or we've done it. We've hit the goal, and you're just.
I'm still scrolling through questions. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, so I apologize.
I mean, could you know, it's a big deal. We hit the goal.
Yeah, give me.
It's your birthday.
I know. I'm
Okay.
going.
Just checking.
Patience.
I'm trying to get the game ready so we can show people the game, because we hit the goal.
Where is?
Gotta
Shoot! I'm on the wrong panel. That's why.
Oh, well.
Oh, there we go.
Geez, we didn't mean to be the wrong panel for you, buddy. Oh, yeah. On the wrong panel. I'm not shouldn't be on this show. Lord and Apollo, I didn't want to be here. It's my birthday. I'd rather be literally anywhere else. Thanks. Great spending time with you on the panel. Wrong panel. Kevin.
This one.
You're the one who's out of this world, sweet baby. You're the one who's out of this world.
And Kevin are on the wrong panel. The wrong panel for this man. Wrong panel. Folks, you hit the goal. Let me show you this. This is in development. This is about two builds back. We're going to go to survival mode. Don't want to show off dev mode, do we? Here we go. Can you guys hear the little boop, boop, boops?
Yep.
No music yet. Just this is what we're going to be giving to all of you out there who are members of the channel, along with other stuff we got planned coming out. This one's called Zax, and let's see if we can get some stuff going on. You know what? We'll flip it. There you go. It's kind of like Tetris, but kind of not. If you ever played Clax, it's a little bit like Clax from the day. Let's see. We can make a diagonal out of that, can't we? Yeah, we got a diagonal. Look, that's a good one. That's a good one. It gets harder and harder. We're going to get high scores on the website. See who can get the highest scores. It'll keep track. You can show off to your friends that you are better than all of the other viewers of the pro show, and you can justify why it is that you're such a person as to vote against Bruce Willis because, darn it, you're a video game expert. And that'll really make a difference, right? That really does say that it's okay what you did tonight. Everybody, all of you. That's not the same color of green, is it? Ooh, we got us a gym. Got to connect that gym. Oh, diagonal wave. There's no way we can win now. There's no way we're going to make that gym connect to get us power up. Darn it. And if we go over, because we can, see, you can actually select different ones. Yeah, it's not going to work because it's a power up, or because it's diagonals right now. We'll have to get us a diagonal here. Can we do that? Yeah, we got a diagonal. Boom, baby. Too bad that red's going to be stuck. Anyway, there you go. There's the game we're bringing out, folks. We'll have lots more stuff. That's two builds back. And of course, the graphics are not quite there because it's just there to show that it's playing and workable and all of that. But video games coming to the members of the channel for all of you. So turn the chat from gray to green and join in the revolution. Retro gaming. You expected another sentence, didn't you, Lorn? You wanted me to finish that off with a rhyme or a punctuation of some kind?
I thought you were doing somewhere, yes.
Well, I just did. I rhymed with kind.
All right. We do have another one. Earthforge 3578. The real question is, have you guys seen the Ghost in the Shell? The generational gap is just going to continue to grow, and how wild Gen Z is. Have not.
I have.
Now, is that the anime or the live action?
I'm assuming he has to be in the anime.
All I can tell you is when it comes to how wild Gen Z is and Gen Y, every day, Mark Mitchell's sending me stuff about, how upside down the world's going to be under young people that they completely disagree with all the older people. So that's all I know on that one. I don't know about your anime. I just know Mark Mitchell is sending me stuff every day that says, hey, we got to fix this. We got to fix it. Fix it fast. I'm like, I'm on it, man. Calm down. I'm working on it. Do it live.
See, we had some other cool suggestions for secondary characters, or at least secondary names.
What we got for middle names? What we got for middle names for kids? Any of those?
Tiberius was a good one.
Dang, that is cool. Can you imagine if you were Eugene Tiberius Smith? I mean, everything else went wrong, but darn it, you got Tiberius. And the first day you go into kindergarten, it doesn't matter if your mom says to you, "Sweetie pumpkin pie," you be proud of your name, Eugene. That was the name of your great grandfather who, it doesn't matter. The first day you go in there and you're playing with blocks and another kid comes by, you're Tiberius.
By the way, Pro, I don't know if you saw this one, but
fantastic. We can't wait for you to play the game. Power-ups, adventures, obstacles, all kinds of stuff. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Still trying to get caught up here. It looks like we have a few more that have come in. We got Chef Eddie. This is to you, Pro. Did you get Lorn his own rainbow dance stick for his birthday?
Maybe I did.
It's time for my summer sizzle. Cool as a cherry popsicle. It's time for an autumn fizzle. For grizzle, the skill are on the trees. It's time for an autumn fizzle. Cracker barrel, mimosas, and strawberries.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
Can I ask you?
We can switch back to your animations now. There you go.
Can I ask you a question that's been bugging me about the autumn fizzle?
Tell me about it. What's going on?
What is it that's on the trees?
Skittles. Skittles, because in fall the leaves change color, so Skittles are on the tree.
I've been trying to figure out that lyric ever since you came up with the new version, and I just have not.
Skittles on the tree, so we could rhyme with Tron Aries. Yeah.
Got it. All right, it's fine. I've been listening hard, trying to figure out what is he.
All I can tell you is Eminem is jealous of that kind of rhyming scheme, going from Skittles on the trees to Tron Aries. I mean, that's the stuff that legends are made of, as opposed to Pedro.
Got another one. Q&A for the panel. Which captain out of Legacy Trek are you getting rid of? Ooh. Kirk, Picard, Cisco, Janeway, or Archer?
Cisco.
Really?
What?
Yep.
Really? Out of that list?
Yeah.
Why?
Which are you getting rid of? We got to get rid of one of them, right?
Yeah, and out of that list, you pick Cisco?
Hang on a second. We're getting rid of one person. They're no longer part of Star Trek, right?
Right.
All right. You want to get rid of Kirk?
No.
You want to get rid of Picard?
No.
You want to get rid of Archer?
I would consider it.
Okay. Now we get to Janeway or Cisco, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You're telling me you keep Janeway over Cisco?
No, I'm just asking. If you get rid of Janeway, what did you just make yourself be?
Somebody with discernment and taste?
Yeah, come on, think strategy here. Think strategy. Who's the only woman?
Yeah.
You've already kicked out Bruce Willis. What do you want to do to yourself on this birthday, Lorn? I'm trying to keep you from being flogged.
Flog away. I'm fine with getting rid of Janeway, but getting rid of Cisco?
You're creating a woke Kobayashi Maru. So you're gonna get rid of the black guy for the woman? You're gonna get rid of the woman for the black guy.
Listen, you're down to no good options here. I'm telling you guys. You can't get rid of Archer. Ziggy's going to get you. You can't get rid of Kirk or Picard. They've put you in a Chinese finger trap here. There's no good answer. It's going to be Sisko or Janeway. We all know it's going to be Sisko or Janeway. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I'm getting rid of Janeway. It's not even a question. This is.
Be sensible about what just happened to him. Whereas Janeway is going to pantsuit you to death. Well, Lorn on his birthday says that's not a bad way to end it.
Nope. I'm shocked. I can't believe you'd get rid of Sisko.
All right. So So you've convinced me. Janeway is the one who has to go.
Or Archer.
You can't get rid of. You want to get rid of Mr. Quantum Leap?
I'd consider it. Kevin, what's your take?
I can't believe this. Archer.
I'm not hating this. I said Pike.
You've convinced me. Janeway is the only answer. And the way that I've played this perfectly is that now I'm saying that Kirk, Picard, Sisko, and Archer have to be there, which means the only woman had to be taken out. But if anybody asks me about it, it's because Lorn made me say so. I have launched myself through the labyrinth of issues here to get to the other side.
I can live with that outcome. Earthforge. Lorn, have you seen any Dragon Ball episodes or Bleach? No. Anime never really quite captured me. My son watched a little bit of stuff for a while. I think he watched some Bleach. I'm not sure about Dragon Ball, though. But personally, I have not seen any of it. Any of either of you two?
Oh, I've watched a ton of Dragon Ball.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh gosh, probably Piccolo.
Piccolo? Is that a real character? People in chat tell us, did he make that up? Did he throw a name out there just to prove? Okay, my favorite character is you said Piccolo. My favorite character is Sassafras. Sassafras. Yeah.
That's close.
Season 15, episode 24 is on there for 10 seconds. You know him. Deep cut.
Yeah. He was the tiger guy.
Yeah, tiger guy. Radishes. He loved radishes. Old radishes. Cabbage Man. Is that from? Dang it, that's from Avatar. He sold radishes instead, not in the Cabbage Man.
There's a character named Raditz.
Close enough. I'll take it. And that's when Kevin's like, haha, it's the trans character pro.
I'm still fighting this fight.
Listen, Lorn, you convinced me. You convinced me to eliminate the only woman on the entire list and be able to claim that you're the one who made me do it. So we're good. We're good.
The thing is, I did watch a fair amount of Enterprise. I didn't complete the series. I had problems with them having a previous Enterprise before the 5-year mission. I don't like when you mess with continuity like that. I liked a lot of the characters, but I felt that the characters never gelled, which was my main complaint about Enterprise. Somehow, I felt like the show was good in concept, but in execution, something was missing. I think I liked it, but it was more of a what-if kind of a thing for me than something that I would accept as let's not. We're going to get into a women drivers conversation with that one. I don't know. Enterprise was kind of an interesting experiment, but Archer as a captain never quite really fit for me either. Somehow Scott Bakula to me just didn't. He didn't have the same kind of presence that I expected of a Star Trek captain or commander. Whereas Sisko, that guy, while I didn't always agree with him, stood toe-to-toe with Picard after Wolf 359 and pretty much gave him the death stare, which, it's like nobody stands toe-to-toe with Picard like that. And as the seasons went on and he kind of made the role more his own. It became more of a Hawk style character. He just got cooler the more that the show went on. Janeway, I always felt, was just completely incompetent. So, which I hate to say because I like Kate Mulgrew, but not a fan of Janeway.
All right, we're going to skip the line because I've got to hop out of here, but this is a fun one to answer on the way out. Mike Glass wants to know, who is your favorite musician or music group to listen to? Lorn, what say you?
My favorite band is a little-known band. I don't think they ever really truly hit it big. I tend to be a country fan. This is what I would call a country soul band. They were called Big House, and their lead singer was a guy named Monty Byram. He's done a lot of stuff in the rock space as well. So if you want to know what I like to listen to, look up Big House. Their first album was just titled Big House. And if you have trouble finding them, look up Monty Byram. You'll get a pretty good idea what I like.
Kevin, what say you?
Metallica.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that in certain of my moods, Metallica is also at the top of my list. Let's see. But I would also say that if I'm feeling mellow and a little quirky, Bare Naked Ladies is a lot of fun to listen to. And I don't know. I'm all over the place. I don't tend to stay with any one musician or music group. If you like Metallica, though, and so, Lorn, you might like this. If you like Metallica and you want to switch it over to bluegrass, what's the name of the band that switched all of Metallica into bluegrass songs? Hang on a second. Let's get that. It's actually really darn cool. It's amazing. Metallica bluegrass. What was the name of that thing? Let's see here. Iron Horse. Iron Horse is the name of the bluegrass group that converted Metallica and some other bands out there into bluegrass. And that, I haven't listened to that in more than a decade. So that might be what I listen to tomorrow. Good question, Mike. Thank you. And I'll tell you that when I went to an Aerosmith concert one time, Kiss was the opening act. And I don't want to say this because we've already, not voted for Bruce Willis, and Kiss just lost a member of the band. So we're on the bad side of, ethics and morals here. But I have never regretted so hard any concert in my life as Kiss as an opening act. It was that and the fact that there was a couple behind me who were attempting to reproduce very early into the night was. Folks, I'm out of here.
Boy, the man slips out quick. Oh, there he goes.
That's what we said about the couple behind. Happy birthday, Lorn! I can't leave like that. I gotta say happy birthday one more time. Happy birthday, Lorn. Hope it's been a good one, and hope that we made your day just a little special by getting to do this tonight. Has it been all right, Lorn? Did we have a fun time?
We have, and I really want to thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Well, it's your birthday, Lorn. It's a special day. It's a great day. And folks, you consider Lorn a friend. I consider him a friend. It's always a joy to get to spend time with Lorn, especially when we're not on panels. I love being on panels with you, but Lorn, when we get to spend real time together, or when we're talking on the phone about different things, Lorn is a really, really cool and genuinely kind person. Folks, I'm telling you, they say that you don't want to meet your heroes, but when it comes to the people that we have on these panels, Lorn is genuine. He's genuine, and you really would want to meet him. He's a great guy. One more time.
Make a wish. Blow out your candles.
We need rest. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
We got a few more here that we managed to pick out. We have from One Dirty Bird for $2, Atari 2600. I'm guessing that must have been your first console. I never actually had an Atari, but I had a bunch of friends who did, and I think my favorite game on it was Pitfall, as you would probably guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My uncle had a Coleco, so that's where watching him play Donkey Kong was always cool. And then he had a Smurfs game, which I always thought was pretty cool.
I had that one too. I remember a bunch of the games that I had on the console, and it was awesome at the time. What's that?
Oh, and Popeye.
Yes, had that one too. Um, the one that I liked the best, I think, was Beam Rider, but Donkey Kong was the pack-in title, and I played an awful lot of that. Donkey Kong Jr. too. Um, that's one of the things from my childhood that I wish I still had. I don't know what happened to it. The last that I remember seeing it, it was actually at my grandparents' place, and I'm sure it probably ended up at the garbage at some point. But if I could get something back from my childhood, that's one of the things I'd like to have. Michelle Marshall, does anyone have a favorite anime? I already kind of answered that. Kevin, what's your answer?
Oh my gosh! So, Fist of North Star movie. I've watched that movie at least 3 times a year, every year since I've seen it in '95. The animated Street Fighter 2 movie, which is absolutely freaking incredible. Chun-Li Vega fight, one of the best things ever. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, but I went back and watched OG Dragon Ball up through Super. Do not like GT. I pretend it never happened. Let's see what else. Demon Slayer. I'm super into Demon Slayer. The death of Mr. Rengoku broke my heart, so I haven't finished it yet. But on Sailor Moon, I was a Sailor Moon guy to the point that my uncle thought I was gay.
Well, you did tell that story about that weird girl, so
Yeah, well, I didn't know. She was hot, and she was hot and older, and it just got so weird so fast.
that's how it happens sometimes. We've got James All Day TV. Who has a better chance at winning a proxy fight against Disney? Bill Ackman from Pershing Square or Matt Cole from Strive Asset? That question's above my pay grade. I don't know. I'd have to do some research before I could answer a question like that. But it's all going to come down to how many shares can you acquire, and can you get people to vote their shares for you? And that's where Peltz ultimately failed in his attempt. So,
yes.
I don't know. William Schweikert. Which do you loathe more, Star Wars The Acolyte or Star Trek Voyager? Lastly, Voyager episodes with Q are fantastic. When Jerry Ryan came on board, the entire dynamic on the show changed. Yeah, I have been told that Voyager, that I was unfair to Voyager because I checked out early, and that's probably true. It was another situation where I didn't particularly care for the cast all that much. Anytime Q shows up, it's a good time. I love John Delancey. Anytime there's a Q episode, that's fun. And so I probably agree with that. Jerry Ryan was gorgeous, and I'm sure that there were good episodes in the later seasons. But I don't feel that I missed out on anything with Voyager. To me, it was Trek that deviated too far from Trek.
It's like once they break away from the Kazon, because it's just the it kind of settles into they do a good job of having Voyager does a good job of a kind of invoking the feel of the original series, but just with TNG. With the TNG above it all feel of everything, but because they find a way to embrace the fact that they are out there by themselves. So like you get that like what's this big crisis that we're going to stumble into, and they get a lot more creative with the aliens, and then they introduce a lot of really cool concepts before the show's done.
I thought it was an interesting concept to have a bunch of members of the Maquis become part of the crew. But I also felt like they settled into that dynamic way too early. And there was a possibility that the Voyager could have been a pirate ship in the Delta Quadrant, And I think there were shows that dealt with that as a concept. And I think in some ways, Janeway was a little casual with the Prime Directive. So I guess you could say maybe she did run a bit of a pirate ship. But I didn't feel like it was a rough crew, and I feel like in that situation, they should have been a little bit rougher. But that's not how the utopian vision of the Federation wants to portray itself. So
that was interesting. Is the Roddenberry? You're not allowed to have conflict on the, with the crew, and I guess I understand them deciding that they wanted to do something a little different than what they had done with DS9. DS9 is clearly the angsty goth best friend, to the to the shining starling, mega athlete that is TNG. So they wanted to, I get it, they wanted to kind of separate the shows a little bit, but I feel like if there's ever an opportunity for us to do a couple of watch-alongs, I think I could sway your opinion and give it another shot. I'm not telling you that every episode is perfect, because there are just some episodes where I'm like, oof. But pretty much once they get rid of Tess, because the Tess thing was it's like, where are you gonna go with this? She dies when she's 5. These shows go on for 5 years. What's the plan here? But once 7 is there, they, yes, I would say every 7 of 9 centric episode. I think she may have had 12 of them. 4 of them are the exact same. It's just, I don't know how to be human. I'm learning as I go thing. But they did a lot of really cool concepts, and they did some cool things that really that would have benefited the lore if they had chosen to move forward instead of doing a prequel. Which, again, I always say, Enterprise suffered from, people weren't accustomed to prequels, and we didn't know how we wanted to react to. We didn't know how we wanted to react to the Star Wars prequels yet.
Well, I don't think the problem was that it was a prequel. It's that it was a lore-breaking prequel. And then there's also that music for Enterprise caught everybody by surprise.
What is this? What's happening?
Yeah, it was bizarre that was the choice they made. But, I feel like that's when Trek was faltering. So...
It's funny, though, because when you play it in syndication too, the theme song that they gave it, because they clearly did not feel like paying for Faith of a Heart, they've got a pretty nice theme song. So I'm like, what happened here? That was Rick Berman just going, we need to do something different.
They did that.
Oh, they did. It was different.
Earthforge. How about childhood? I'm guessing that's nostalgia. How about Captain Planet Lorn? Didn't watch it. You guys are picking all the stuff I didn't watch. I think I was just old enough at that point that I was past watching it, so I wasn't the target audience. Had I been 4 or 5 years younger, I probably would have seen it, but I didn't. I missed that one.
I thought Captain Planet was cool when I was younger, and then I got older and realized this is a bunch of crazy lefty gobbledygook. You need to have a small family because you're overpopulating the Earth. It's an actual episode. But Tom Cruise was awesome as Captain Planet for the first couple episodes. The show is jam-packed with A-list celebrities at the time. It doesn't last for the entire first season, but I think the first 5, like, you got Meg Ryan, Jeff Goldblum, a couple other people in there brain farting on it, and Tom Cruise as Captain Planet.
This question, Colossus the Forbidden Project. Have I seen it? No, and I don't remember it being brought up before. I apologize. I'm looking it up right now just so I can see who's in it and what it's about. Says that this was originally released as The Forbidden Project. It's a 1970 American science fiction thriller from Universal Pictures, produced by Stanley Chase, directed by Joseph Sargent, that stars Eric Braeden, Susan Clark, Gordon Pinsent, and William Shallert. Oh, wow. It's based upon the 1966 science fiction novel Colossus by Dennis Feltham Jones. The film's about an advanced American defense system named Colossus becoming sentient. After being handed full control, Colossus's draconian logic expands on its original nuclear defense directives to assume total control of the world and end all warfare for the good of humankind, despite its creators' orders to stop. Yeah, this is a really common subject in AI scare stories, usually involving AI deciding that, well, humans are the problem, so we're going to sterilize the planet. I'm sorry, I forgot that you had brought this up before, but I have not seen it. At some point, I'll try and get it put on the list. We go through a lot of movies of that era on the Genre Guys, so I wouldn't be surprised if that makes it into discussion for the list at some point. I'm sure that Lou is familiar with it, so I'll try and remember to ask him about it. I'm going to go through here and see if there's any other questions that I missed. I'm sure I probably missed a few here. Bear with me while I scroll through, because I've been in different sections where I wasn't seeing these. Wandering Genie says he still has his ColecoVision, which is cool. I'm jealous. Let me see.
I always wanted to know what the number controller was for.
On the Coleco?
Yeah.
Variable controls. Kind of one of the things that was interesting about the ColecoVision controller was that you had the number pad, but different games could have these plastic inserts that would slip into a slide there that would give you what the controls were for their particular thing. So like in Mousetrap, Mousetrap was kind of like Pac-Man. You had these dots that you ate, but you were a mouse. And there were cats that were trying to catch you in the maze, but there were these colored doors. And different numbers on the number pad, when you slid the insert in, corresponded to those colors. So you could open and close the doors to try and trap the cats.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, there was lots of different things. Okay, we've got favorite Brendan Fraser movie. That's easy. The Mummy. No one has answered this question. If you could, would you buy Disney? Well, there's two ways to answer that question. Yes, because it would come with stock, and even though it's not doing great, I'm sure that there would be dividends that would be paid. No, because I don't really want to run or try to fix that mess. I don't know about you, Kevin.
Oh, I like a good challenge. I would start with no more reboots or remakes rule.
Yeah, I think it's time for them to start trying to do something original again. Although, I would kind of like to see them try to revisit the Black Hole and see if they could come up with a viable remake for that one.
Well, or else I would say, I do think if you're going to do a reboot or a remake, you should revisit IPs that had potential, but they didn't do well. Stop going to it did well and has fond memories. Like I would say, hey, this is the second at bat. Let's see if we can get it right this time. Is where I would put my energy into rebooting. But like, I don't know. I think it's kind of silly that we've got a Moana movie coming out when the actual first Moana movie isn't even 10 years old.
Yeah. What's your favorite action movie or hero between 80s and 90s? I guess it depends on what you call an action movie. I think mine would probably be Indiana Jones, but I don't know if you consider that an action movie or an adventure movie. If you're going for straight action, this is actually probably 2000s. But I got kind of a soft spot for the Expendables.
I love the Expendables. I remember Stallone. It came out the same weekend as Eat, Love, Pray. And Stallone was talking about how I think so. It's like, yeah, so he's doing an interview on Tuesday. The Expendables wound up being number one throughout the course of the weekend. So he's talking about how like he's watching the box office numbers, and Friday it's not looking great. He's like, all right, Saturday they're doing a little bit better, but it's going to come down to how everything goes down on Sunday. He says he gets the numbers first thing in the morning on Monday. And his wife looked at him like he was crazy because he was running around the house screaming, "We beat the women!" We beat the women.
I genuinely love that movie. I like the first two. I thought the third one wasn't quite as good as the first two, but the first two are great. Lorn, what is your childhood nostalgia cartoons? Well, this is going to demasculate me a little bit, but I really like the Smurfs. I loved the Smurfs as a kid, and I can't tell you how many bowls of cereal I ate watching the Smurfs. Trying to think of others. There was the Snorkels or the Snorks or whatever they were called. Trying to remember them. Gummy Bears. I remember there was a Pac-Man TV show for a while.
Jersey.
Later on, there was Captain N. Gosh, there were so many. Laser Tag. I don't know if you remember Laser Tag. There was a lot of good stuff. Now, I guess I would say back then, I watched some anime stuff without knowing that's what it was at the time. So there was a show I watched called Transor Z, which was the Americanized version of Manzinger Z, I think is what it was called. And then, of course, you had things like He-Man that I was a giant fan of, and the Transformers. So those were kind of my go-to cartoons as a kid.
Oh, man. Oh, God, let me see. Smurfs, Snorks. I could break it down by network, but I loved Brave Star. I loved all those Ruby Spear shows that were only on for a season. But like my all-time favorite, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. Yeah. I love that. I love that cartoon. G.I. Joe, obviously. I love G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe Transformers, He-Man, Real Ghostbusters.
Yes. Yep. Forgot that one.
Yeah, especially when they're fighting the ghost, and you get to the breakdown part of the song, it's Bleep is real.
Yep.
The Mr. T cartoon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about some of those. Hulk Hogan had one, and there was I remember Louis Anderson had a cartoon of all people, and John Candy did too. Camp Candy, if you remember that.
Camp Candy, and it was bookended with Gravedale High, which featured Rick Moranis, and yes, Sonic Monsters was phenomenal.
Garfield and Friends.
Garfield, yep. Mm-hmm.
God, I forgot about a bunch of those. Yeah, I mean, that era was great. And as a kid, Saturday morning, you looked forward to Saturday morning like nothing else, and a lot of it was because of that.
Yep. Oh, dude, I remember especially the closer you got to September, you'd have sometimes it's even a 2-page spread in the back of the comic books telling you, what network had what cartoons coming. And it was always a big deal. Something returned. Oh, it was awesome.
Yep. I remember, you remember the Marvel Kitty branded comics, Star? You remember Star Comics? Because that was more towards the younger set, and that's where most of those spreads were, and all the toys as well. Another one from my son. What are your favorite video games and maybe video game soundtracks as well? Kid, you know all of mine. You don't need me to answer this. Kevin, what are yours?
Oh, let's see. Wizards and Warriors.
Oh, great pick. Great pick.
I love that soundtrack. It's one of my favorites. Even the I'm mortally wounded and I'm trying not to die music. Nothing more stressful than that. Especially when you're trying to make your way up the tree and you keep falling back.
That's one of the few video games I actually had to call the Nintendo helpline on. And that number, if you guys remember, was 1-206-885-7529. That was the Nintendo hint line. And the whole reason was I would get in the game the throwing dagger that would come back to you, remember? But then I would get to the end of the game with Malkill, and I could not kill him. And it turns out you have to replace your dagger with the axe, and he's very vulnerable to the axe, and I didn't know that. So once I got that, I was finally able to defeat the game.
Nice. That's awesome. Battletoads is one of the hardest. No, I'm sorry. Actually, no, Battletoads is kind of ridiculous, but Battletoads Double Dragon is the most absurd video game of all time. It is difficult for the sake of punishing children. Difficult.
Did you ever play Earthworm Jim?
Yeah.
Same kind of vein.
So at least Arthur and Jim looked quirky.
Retromeister saying that's easy. He'll respond with Outlaws as his favorite video game OST. And you're probably right. That's Clint Bajakian and one of the best soundtracks ever in a game, by the way. The remaster of Outlaws is releasing the day after tomorrow, so keep your eyes open for that. Let me see what else we got. Oh gosh, you guys are giving us a lot of them. Lorn, what's your favorite Enterprise and any alternate ones in fandom or in the series? Also, I don't agree with them with the GA downgrade. Should have been larger than F. My soft spot's always going to be for the Enterprise D. I hated it when they crashed it in Generations. Now, I did like the E design. I thought it was a sleek-looking, beautiful ship. But the D was my Enterprise, and my introduction to Star Trek, I had seen some of the original series episodes when I was a little kid, but I didn't really tune into it. It wasn't something that hooked me at that point. When The Next Generation came out, I was still a bit young to really get hooked into it. But my dad was really interested in watching it. He really wanted to see this series, and he was so excited about it. And I watched because he was watching. But I wasn't really hooked until they got to the best of both worlds, and they ended on that cliffhanger. And that was an event. And after that, I was dialed in. I became a major Star Trek fan, and was for many, many years. So that's why the D is my Enterprise. And I was glad to hear that they did resurrect it in Picard. I haven't seen Picard. I saw the first episode and kind of got that this is not my Star Trek. I hear that season 3 was great, but I haven't watched it. Maybe someday I'll go back and do it, but I sense that that ship probably sailed for me.
If you do happen to skip the first 2 seasons, it's just all a bunch of gobbledygook anyway.
I can't do that.
It's you're going down heartbreak road if you watch the first 2 seasons. Because essentially, Kurtzman just takes a bunch of storylines from other things and does them not quite as well. The entire end of the first season of Picard is a mashup of Mass Effect and Bicentennial Man. It's like I'm watching. I'm like, I know I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before?
See, now I have cheated on Picard a little bit because a bunch of big important scenes came up on YouTube, and I figured I'm never going to watch this show, so I did watch them. So I've seen a lot of the stuff that's already, I've kind of spoiled myself on a lot of stuff, and there was stuff that did look good. Bringing Q back, I think, was a good decision. Mm-hmm. Bringing the Enterprise back is a good decision, but
so it's one of those with Q. You get it if you watch Voyage, you get really annoyed because it's like, well, one, this doesn't make sense that this is what's happening to Q. 2, he's not alone because John Delancey's son actually plays Q Jr. Which he did a great job, but I don't think he continued to act after Voyager. But but then Terry Matalas undoes that in season 3, which was a brilliant move. But I would say because you were a DS9 guy, you're gonna go, some of this doesn't make sense, but I go, if you watch season 3 of Picard and treat it like a longer Star Trek movie as opposed to Star Trek TV, it's easier to digest, because the movies are very different, from the TV show.
That's true.
But well, I don't know.
I actually liked Enterprise's Mirror Universe 2-parter. I don't remember if I saw that, but Mirror Universe episodes always get a caveat from me. They're always good. Whenever you have a Mirror Universe episode, I'm going to be into it. No, it doesn't matter what Trek series it is. So,
what we almost got. Oh, so I was originally going to say, they originally wanted to crash the D at the end of the season 5 finale and have that be the cliffhanger.
Really?
Yeah, and then they, at the last second, decided Oh no, sorry. Going into season 6, they wanted to crash it being the season 6 cliffhanger. And then they decided that they knew they needed to start developing the movie, so they reworked what they wrote and moved it over to the movie. And then,
better decision.
Yeah, I think it was a better decision. Although I still think that Generations was a better series finale, and All Good Things was a better movie intro. I think they should have flipped it, but shoot, I forgot what I was about to say about the what the proposed mirror universe episode for Enterprise was supposed to be versus what we got. The mirror episodes for Enterprise are awesome, but originally, I guess Shatner had been like, "Hey, I'll do the show. I've got an idea," and he had proposed being his mirror counterpart, because we don't know what happens to him other than he doesn't make it back to the Enterprise. But we never actually know what happened to Tiberius. We don't know what happened to Tiberius Kirk. We were going to find out that Tiberius got sent back in time, and was kind of hiding in our universe. And then when Archer opens up, when they wind up in the mirror universe, and they have to kind of band together to overcome what the problem is, but then in turn creates the entire foundation for what the mirror universe has to become. So you put Archer in this really this ethical quagmire.
This is my fault.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think of the new Indiana Jones game? I loved it. I do have some problems with it that mainly have to do with, I feel like they actually made some historical errors. But, Indiana Jones is not to be taken as literal history, so you kind of get away with some of that. Part of the reason I have a problem with it, I don't know if I want to get into spoilers here. I'll just say it involves the ziggurat of and there are some people that believe the ziggurat of is a particular biblical location, but it's actually the wrong location. The actual location is Edamaki, and it was dealt with in Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. So I feel like there's a bit of overlap there in the Indy chronology, and in this case, they get the site wrong, and that creates some problems for the story. Most people aren't going to know that or care, so I'm just being nitpicky with it. So other than that, though, I loved the game. Want to try and get through the rest of these because we need to wrap. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, your background is Indy's office in the game. I have to assume you enjoyed it. Yes, I did.
I think I back and finished that. I started it and then got derailed.
Well, it does. It's kind of a long one if you're going to do all of the content, but I did enjoy it. Did you ever see Voltron? Yes, I did. I wasn't a huge fan. I know a lot of kids went crazy for it, especially for the toys. I was more of a Transor Z guy. Let's see.
Oh, cops.
Oh, yeah. That's about the same time as Batman the Animated Series. Let's see. Boy, people really went off on the cartoons. That's maybe we should do a show about that at some point. Reboot and Beast Wars.
Beast Wars was awesome.
Your son may know your favorite Lorn, but we do not. Okay, so I guess I will address this this question. There's a lot of video game soundtracks that I like. I think one of the best video game soundtracks ever is actually the Castlevania soundtrack. That's got some fantastic music in it. Outlaws is one that I referenced. That was a LucasArts game based on spaghetti westerns. I like the... there's a composer whose name right now is escaping me, and I don't know why. He's done a lot of Star Wars and Indiana Jones soundtracks for recent releases. Let me see if I can find his name here. Why are you not turning up here? Gordy Hab. He did the Jedi Survivor soundtrack, Jedi Fallen Order, and the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. You want to go back to, say, the Nintendo era, it's kind of hard to argue against something like Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario Land. DuckTales has one of the best soundtracks of any kind of a NES game or thing from that era. I don't know how I missed this one. This was a super chat from One Dirty Bird for 5. Says, my middle name is from an uncle that died on Normandy Beach. And yes, I'm old. What's the video game movie of all time? I don't think there have been a lot of great ones. Most of them I've been disappointed in. The Super Mario Brothers movie from a couple years ago, I think, was pretty good.
Yeah, it's really kind of just come down to Mario Brothers and Sonic, and the '95 Mortal Kombat, which is, just was the I still watch it actually, but I don't know if it's good because it's just a kung fu movie, and I love kung fu movies. Or if it's yeah. I'm trying to think. What else have we gotten? I know we've had a lot more, and I know
there was the original Mario Brothers movie, which I would suggest everybody forget.
So annoyed when I saw that. It's like, what is this? Phenomenal casting, though.
Yep. All right, guys. I think that's most of them. If I missed any, I apologize, but it is getting late. We need to wrap. I really appreciate all of you being here to celebrate with me tonight. Kevin, thanks for being here, too. Had a wonderful time. This was a lot of fun doing a more conversational show. So hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. We hope that we'll see you again coming up here on Friday. Until then, take care.
Lorn and Apollo.